So let's take the indictment out of it for 1 second. You're a Republican. I've talked with you for now over a year about different issues facing New York City. And one thing really shines through. You deeply care about the city of New York. You deeply care about Queens, your district. What do you think of Mayor Eric Adams?
I think, Mayor, as far as we go here, and I go on a personal level, we may disagree on policy after policy. But I will say this in Mayor Adams' defense, that when it comes to conversation and his staff being open to, we have the migrant crisis going, we have migrant shelters opening, and how I feel about all of that. But they picked up the phone. I called them, they answered on the first ring. So whenever it came to anything to do with me, my district, he has been more than open-minded. Okay, so these other people have an axe to grind with him on every level of government. Every level of government. We had, here's something that just happened recently. Randy Mastro came in, and he was going to be the chief of, what he did for Giuliani, as far as law goes. Now, you couldn't get anybody more middle of the road Democrat than Randy Mastro. They put Randy Mastro, by they, I mean the Committee on Public Safety, and all of them. They came in with binders. They weren't even born yet in 2001. And what they chose out of Randy Mastro's opening statement, all his years of experience, one of the top attorneys in the United States of America, how he was going to be bipartisan. He went out of his way to meet with every council member, and they just chewed him up and spit him out. 11 hours worth. 11 hours worth. And all they did was prosecute him for working with and for Giuliani's administration. So I've got people behind me on the dais who weren't even born yet or were 6 and 7 years old talking about Giuliani's administration, probably the best administration mayor that we've had in my lifetime. And they were ripping into him. So anything the mayor tried to do that was middle of the road to help both sides out, they would kibosh. So Tiffany, this doesn't surprise me at all. She's anti-law and order. She's horrible.
She did say she read the 57-page indictment and called it, she said, as a former public defender, it looks like a very damning case of quid pro quo. Those text messages in there are pretty damning. The indictment does read as quid pro quo. Did you read the indictment, and what do you think of that?
I did not read it, no. I can't really talk too much to it. I did several other shows, and I will say this, that in my opinion, let the courts play it out, let the people hear it, and let us decide, let the courts decide which way it's going to go. When you look at things on the grand scheme, I don't think there's much in it. But we got to come back to the original conversation about how the left wants him out. The left wants him out. Who steps in should he resign, which I really hope he doesn't do? It's Jumaane Williams. And
So
that guy
talk
comes with, yeah, that
talk
guy
about
comes with,
Talk about the public advocate, Jumaane Williams. He would be in for an interim period. Let's say Mayor Eric Adams resigned today. He would immediately step in, and then there would be a special election in less than 100 days. If that happens, what do you think?
disaster. The city will die because this is a man who is so off the charts left. He would destroy New York City. Everybody's talking about the same thing. And as much as Jumaane might be a really nice guy to say hello and have a conversation with, he's one of these people. I want to read a note that I have here that he wants the federal government to take over Rikers Island. He wants the feds. Now, he will have until November, should he be allowed to step in as interim mayor. And he will have the ability to say yes to the federal government taking over Rikers Island. That's a huge thing. We've got so many, nobody's a criminal, in New York. Everybody needs social counseling. Some woman could have just got stabbed 50 times. The person who did that stabbing in Jemani's mind's eye, they need social work. They need to be helped. They don't need a prison cell. No. So he is that far to the left. He hates cops. He would disband I could honestly see him, if God forbid, he's longer than 90 days in, starting to do things to the police department that has already been botched and butchered. Dismantle them, possibly. He doesn't believe in any of this. And law and order doesn't exist in Jemani's mind. And I think that's one of the biggest detrimental things about Jumaane Williams. So